This t-shirt's from America. It's from LA. Was it LA? California. No, not California. California. Sorry. Uh, the Wizard flashbacks. It's from Florida. Florida. Yeah. Got this from Florida. I never went to Florida, but got it as a gift from my father. Anyway, back to my movie review of Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, I love the transitions, like the whole time throughout the movie you get different shots of the fucking washing machine and like the camera pans out at Michelle Yeoh, but like even just the setup for the movie, like the opening scene, you get the shots, you get the opening credits, and then someone moves. Okay, I'm joking, but you get the opening shots and nice out case, isn't it? Nice out David. I have not said that in about 10 years. I think I forgot I used to say that. Anyway, here you go. So yeah, um, but I love the whole like opening shot. You get just beautiful fucking cinematography. Like even during the non-action scenes, which are done beautifully, and the effects and all of that. You know, you get this amazing cinematography, like just showing the camera moving in, and she's there like, oh yeah, yeah, great, and then the guy comes in, oh, you ready for this thing? It's like, yeah, yeah, it's great. What are you doing? Like getting ready? It's like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, they're just kind of talking, and they're just regular people looking to, get things ready for this New Year's party, and they're working. It's like, oh, I got this ready. It's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. And like, first of all, when you hear this guy talk, you honestly, you just get nostalgic for the Goonies and Temple of Doom, and it's great that he's back on the big screen again. Honestly, um, now I can see why he got emotional at the Golden Globes for this movie, because you know it means the world to me to even just see him back on the screen, and it means the world to him. Um, he just seems like the type of guy I want to give a hug. He just seems like a guy that I just want to hug. He just seems like the sweetest guy in real life. Um, but yeah, it's like, come on, we got to do this. Like, okay, whatever. Do this for the party. It's like making breakfast, just doing things. Okay, whatever. And then the mother comes in, like, you ready? And then the daughter comes in, like, you ready for this? Like, yeah, yeah, just help out tonight and all that. And she's like, are you ready to talk about Becky and all? It's like, no, no, look, just get things ready. It's like, Mom, seriously? God. And then they're having dinner. It's like, oh, how are you? It's like, yeah, I'm not great because Mom is acting this way. And then the father's like, oh, no, don't talk to your mother like that. It's all going to be okay. And there's that kind of family tension. It's like, oh, whatever. And the mother and daughter are always arguing. And then the father's always trying to be like the good guy, like trying to calm them down and stuff. So I love that kind of family dynamic that's presented in the film. And then, like, just all like, oh, God. And I also like the fact that the laundromat is in the building. So they go downstairs and, like, oh, yeah, whatever. So you're looking on the security cameras and you just go, yeah, it's like, oh God, and just the way the camera moves along and massive shots, and it goes from full screen to widescreen. But actually, that didn't get annoying. There's even, I think, a moment where it goes like that. That didn't get annoying in the film. Whereas, like, in Christopher Nolan movies, as much as I love Christopher Nolan's films, that gets really irritating. And I think that's because it was shot in IMAX. So I don't know if this was shot in IMAX, but still. Um, but she hears the bell ring, go, God, what is that? Walks down, opens the door. It's like, walks down to the laundromat. It's like, God, what is it? It's like, and she, they're talking in Mandarin. It's like, there, do that, whatever, whatever. And, get this ready, get this ready. It's like, Mom, are you serious? We want to talk about Becky now? It's like, no, no, whatever. And just like, come on, what's going on? And, father's talking, oh, that's great. And then obviously looking at the ballet thing, and he's just kind of getting upset. It's like, oh, yeah, don't be soft, as I said. And then they're like, she's giving customers, don't do that to the washing machine, come on, come on, come on, and then it's like a family business, so I enjoyed that. But I also enjoyed, like, um the whole fact of, like, someone knocks and Jenny Slate has a great cameo. I like Jenny Slate's cameo. I found that she was a very funny character. Like, oh, it's great. Yeah, do you have this for the laundry? She's getting out of the car, like, driving. It's like, oh, yeah, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah, tell him that. Tell him this. Like, it's like, oh, God, whatever. And she's just there like this. And then in the subtitles, you get some great humor. It's like, oh, let's go. And the mum's like, why do you always do this? Why do you always do this, Mom? It's like, God, the daughter's like that. And then she's like, there's just moments where she's kind of like, God, whatever, why do you do this? God, and all this. And she brings in Becky. He's like, hi, Becky. It's like, whatever, come on, get out here, Becky, cut your hair. She's like, get her hair cut. She's like, oh, grow your hair back. And I'm like, oh, God. Mom, this is Becky. He's like, hi, it's great to hear you need help. No, I don't need help, it's fine. You know, when the girlfriend is trying to say that to Jamie Lee Curtis. And then she keeps just going, go over, help there, the girl with the big nose. And then it keeps kind of coming back. She goes, big nose, big nose. Wait, wait, wait. Help me with that. And she's like, hi, could I have this done? Yeah, thank you, whatever. And just this kind of fakes like, here he goes, like, yeah, thank you very much. Big nose, wait. And I just love that fucking big nose, big nose. Don't let the girl with the big nose leave. It's like, don't tell grandpa. And then grandpa comes down, and then there's the whole, this is very good friends. Like, do you want help? It's like, no, it's fine. It's like, why do you always do this? Can we talk about this? No, we'll talk about it later. Then just the way the camera follows them, it's a very real conversation for a movie that's just batshit crazy. Um, but the way the camera follows Michelle Yeoh and goes up the stairs, and it's like, why do we always talk about this? Like, oh, it's fine. Why do you not like Becky? And then the father's like, we do like Becky. She's very nice and all that. And I love that whole aspect and goes down, and so we'll tell Grandpa it's like fine, and then talking in Mandarin and English. Don't do that. You know my Mandarin's not great and all that kind of stuff. And walking downstairs and doing all this kind of shit. And then he's talking in Mandarin, and she's just kind of like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, God, I don't know. She's like, God, you need to work on your Mandarin. You need to work on your Japanese or Chinese. It's like, yeah, she's like, God, whatever. It's like, okay, this is Grandpa. It's like, come on, whatever. And he just says some stuff. And you kind of get the family tension. Like, we talk about it. Look, we'll talk about it later. You come to the party. It's just cameras panning in, and it's like, this is fucking bullshit and all that. It's like, okay, language and all that. And it just, that kind of shit going on. And she's like, look, it's okay. Do be accepting of it. She should be more accepting of it and all that. But even the setup of, like, I like that aspect, the couple aspect, the cute couple aspect. And also, you notice all the Easter eggs. You see circles. The washing machine is meant to be the circles of, what's going to happen in the movie. Little circles putting on, and just the way that the everything is set up, and brilliant editing and camera work, and seeing transitions and close ups and throughout the film. And oh, it's, but even like little things like when Jamie Lee Curtis holds up the paper and they seem like, here, this is what we need to do. And like even just the way that the shot is on her, and then transitioning between the meeting and like her and Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis talking, it's just brilliantly done. Transitions well. And she goes off, she's like, wait, and then she's getting into the car. It's like, what, Mom's like, are you coming to the New Year's party tonight? It's like, yes, we'll be there. It's like, okay, I'll be there. You gotta respect Becky more. It's like, not that you don't like her, but come on. It's like, seriously, you gotta respect me more. And then she goes, you're getting really fat. It's like, what? She goes, wait, oh, thanks, Mom. It's like, God, she's a nightmare. I was like, maybe she only cares about you. Yeah, right. Drives off. It's like, God, I just can't before walks in. It's like, everything okay? It's grand. And then it's fine, yeah. And then they're looking at like the papers and all this kind of shit. And you're like, oh fuck, he wants to get a divorce. And there's so much great show don't tell moments. You can tell that Key wants love. He wants love. Uh, and tells the grandfather, oh, she needs to work on her Japanese. Like, yeah, I know. And they go upstairs, and everything's kind of happens. Like, we got to go to this meeting, and it's all about the whole laundromat. And tensions in this film get high. They really fucking do. There's a great moment later on in the movie where it's night. She comes back, like, whatever. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? And all this, like, whatever. And Becky's there like that, like, great. And there's this moment that is so dark, and it kind of happens between a scene where she goes into this other universe. She's like, what the hell? And she sees the evil, like, in this kind of weird kind of temple place and a bunch of other people, and she's just like, what the hell? Like, the kind of weird transitions, like, where am I? And she's in this other, like, on the other universe, and the back of her head is there, and it's like, it's like, you really think it's gonna happen? It's like, no, I don't want to fight you. It's like, I'm gonna do a law. I'm gonna show you something, and fighting, and like, we're fighting. Come on, it's like, come on, I'll show you this way, and then, like, let me show you what life is like for me. What you're doing to me. You caused all this horrible thing to happen. you pushed me too far, you know. And she's bringing all this exposition thing, and then you just see this gigantic black bagel, because that's the shape of what I guess subconscious or the multiverse, whatever, looks like. And she's like, what is that? It's like, oh, it's a black bagel. This bagel. This is what happens when you push me too hard and stuff like that. And it's caused a bunch of different other versions of me and evil versions and alternate realities to sort of break open and all that. And it's a really deep scene. I was like, oh God. And then we cut back to the laundromat. It's like, what's going on and all that. And then they're arguing like, what's going on at the New Year's party? It's like, yeah, great that you could come. James Hong's like, oh yeah, great. I was like, and the other guy's like, Key's like, oh, it's fine. Then they're getting annoyed. It's like, whatever, let's, you know. And the daughter's like, come on, why are you doing this and all that? And they're just kind of decorating and getting ready for this celebration. And it's kind of cutting back and forth, like, and just all this multiverse. And it cuts between different universes. Like, there's a universe where she's a movie star, and you see her like talking to Key, like, oh God, whatever. There's another universe where she's a chef, and is like, oh God, you know, cooking. And then other universe where she's learning kung fu, and there's different universes, and it's cutting back and forth. And it's like, this is what happens to reality, and you get this great shot. CGI is brilliant in it, like the whole circle's like, you push me too hard, my subconscious goes, and then you cut to different realities where she's like that, and everything goes, and you, like, depressed and all, and a bunch of different people, you know, versions of her being evil and attacking, and just see how miserable everyone is. And you get a great shot of her just there, and everyone's just kind of like that, and she's just at the laundromat at night time, and it's bad. And it's like, well, I don't know what we can do. This is going to be bad. We're getting divorced. Can we talk about it? It's like, I don't know. I think my mind is settled, and settled and all that. And you just get this moment where you're like, holy fucking shit. You know, and you see how depressed everyone is. Like, God damn it. And the music in that scene is brilliant. And by the way, did I mention that? The fucking music is brilliant in this movie. They're fighting and fucking people up, and, you know, and the sad, dramatic music. The soundtrack to this film is just unbelievable. An original soundtrack, just a masterpiece, honestly. So, I love that part of the film. I thought that was really well done. And she's just sitting there like, yeah, whatever. And then Jamie Lee Curtis's character kind of comes in like, hey, your workers are like, what? No. It's like, you are getting sued for this. Like, no, that's stupid. No. And all that. It's like, and then there's just this really deep, depressing scene where it's like, it's all going to happen. And she just turns to Michelle Yeoh. It's like, nothing matters. You've done this to yourself. Nothing matters. And she's like, nothing matters. Like, you're going to be drawn into the power. And then the scene earlier where James Hong is like, look, she's already, you know, possessing you with her power, because, as they say, they tie her up. It's like, why would you undo that and all that? Why are you tying her up and all that, you know? And it's like, I need help tying her up and shit like that. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And it's like, you're already giving into her power, look. And then she's like, no, I'm not. And then she gets the fucking knife and it's going up. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? Mom, and cuts her open. It's like, oh God, it runs off. And it's like, you're already giving into her power. So that kind of foreshadows this scene, which I love. I love the foreshadowing in it. And it's like deep, and it's like, yeah, and then she just kind of goes, nothing matters, and it kind of cuts back and forth between the two universes. That scene and then her, and it's like, nothing really matters. It doesn't matter, nothing matters. And you're like, holy shit, that's fucking deep. That is some deep fucking shit, you know? And it's like, you are getting sued, and we're taking your laundromat, all this. And she's like, no, it doesn't matter. She starts throwing shit, and it's like, ah. And she just fucking picks up the fucking chair and goes, no, fuck, and just smashes the fucking window. It's like, whoa, security. And I don't know, it's like, fuck, and all that. And it's just like, oh shit, in slow motion, the glass breaks, and everyone's like, oh God, you know. And you're just like, holy shit. And it's just this epic big moment, and that's what the movie is, just epic and big. And she's like, what's happening? And goes off and sits outside, and I don't know if she gets arrested, like whatever, gets put in handcuffs and then let her go, and she just sits down outside and it's like, yeah, sorry, I ruined the party, whatever. And then you get this kind of great character moment with Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis, and they're just kind of sitting outside at the laundromat, and they're looking out, and it's like, did that feel better to get off your chest? Like, yeah, you know, it's just this, everything's hard, the divorce, everything's like, yeah, I know. Listen, your laundry man. And by the way, I really like Jamie Lee Curtis's accent in this film. I thought that was brilliantly done as well. It was like, your laundry man, it's fine. You know, I got into a fight with my husband, divorced him. It was terrible. I think you get through it okay, you'll be fine. It's like, yeah, sure I will. And like, it's like, you'll get through it, it's fine. And it's a great moment between Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis. They have that nice bond between them. James Bond. Anyway, so they're like, yeah, so it's crying. It's like, you okay, honey? It's like, yeah. And the mother's there like, yeah, okay, let's go back in to the daughter. Um, I'm talking to James Hong and like, yeah, whatever that. And then there's even the part like, you are not my daughter. And he's like, another scene's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, how do I get a daughter like you? And just that kind of shit. It's like, oh, thanks, Dad. Goes off. It's like, whatever. It's like, you're not my daughter. And it's like, Jesus. Um, but it's like, just that's such a deep and brilliantly done scene, and I love it. I love everything from the music, the acting, the tension, even the slow motion. It's just all done so fucking well. Um, and like, Michelle Yeoh is brilliant in this movie. She really is phenomenal in this film. Um, but did I just fart and I didn't acknowledge it? I never do that in my reviews. And fucking hell, it stinks. But anyway, ooh, it's sexy. Sorry, fuck. Anyway, basically, yeah, I love the way that was done. I just fucking love it. And then, as I said, the fucking fight scenes in this film are is crazy, and I mean that in the best possible way ever. Like, fighting people, like, oh shit, oh come on, you know, like, oh, fucking people up left and right, smacking them, like, oh shit, you know. It's like, we gotta go this way, come on, let's go. And they're fighting. It's like, what's happening? And then Jamie Lee Curtis is like, you. And she's like, oh look, I'm so sorry about that earlier. And then she just grabs a stapler and goes, you know, it's like, oh shit. And it's like, come on, let's go. And they're fighting people up and cracking their heads open, and they're cracking their neck, and there's some gory parts in it. Like, oh shit, oh come on, we gotta go. And then also, I also forgot to mention this actually. I noticed that when he puts something in his mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth, don't you put it in. Sorry. He puts the thing in the fishbowl in his mouth, and he starts spitting it out, and he goes. I actually kind of thought to myself, holy shit, that's actually kind of a reference to one of their other films, I think, Swiss Army Man. Because it's like, isn't there like a part, there's a part where in that film Paul Dano puts like something in Daniel Radcliffe's mouth and then starts using them to shoot. So I reminded of that. And he goes, oh no, and they're fighting Jamie Lee Curtis, like, ah, and she's punching, like, oh shit, and they're running and jumping and all that. And then it's like, oh god, and then just the kind of, jumping in slow motion, and she's just kind of like, oh my god, like that, like, what the hell do I do? It's like, pinky's finger, use it, and it's like, oh, punch, and it's like, you have to manifest a different power, quick! And they're fighting, like, oh no, come on, you have to, and they're like, oh, no, imagine yourself in another universe, and then imagines herself in another universe, fighting, it's like, come on, and fighting and uppercutting, and then all that, and then she's like, what's happening? It's like, let's go, and then him and her and Keith fight, like, oh, let's do this, and they fight, and it goes crazy, and it like starts slamming each other. It's like, what is this, pro wrestling? And then they're like throwing each other down and breaking. He breaks the fucking back. It's like, and they're fighting. And another scene, he breaks the back. Like, oh, come on, let's go. And they're running and fighting under a table. And it's like, okay, we gotta go. Come on, let's run. And then when they snap out of the universe, she's like, what did you do? It's like, did you just staple me? It's like, fight me. It's like, oh god. She's like, oh, what's happened? It's like, we gotta go out of this universe. Like, what did you do? Did you just staple me? It's like, no, I didn't staple you. It's like, you just stapled me. You're getting sued and all this. It's like, oh, come on. This is insane. What do? We gotta get out of this universe. Come on. And then, you know, it's like, you really want to get a divorce and all that. And then he kind of snaps out, like, what's happening? What's going on? It's like, this happens. Like, we gotta get a divorce. Like, come on, let's go. And all that. And I even love the whole, like, when the consciousness goes out and in their elevator, like, oh, we're here already, you know? And it's like, we want to get there, we want to get a divorce, and then the other version of him pops up, and it's like, this is why, as I said, it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once, because there's two versions of her happening at the same time. Like the consciousness is in another universe, but she's there, and they're like, come on!" Like and during the fight scene with Jamie Lee Curtis, like, "Come on, they gotta fight! Come on, she's attacking! Oh shit!" And they're fighting. It's like, "Did you get that right?" It's like, yeah, we have it. It's okay. And it's brilliantly done. And there's lots of great shots of the back of heads and kind of going to like transitioning to other universes, going like that and stuff. Um, you know, but I love that. Like, you gotta stop that one. I can't pronounce that one thing's name. And then like just when it transitions to like her and the like doing the kung fu, like, you know, let's do this, that kind of thing. And it's like, come on, use your pinky. It's like, and in another universe where she's a film star or whatever. And it goes, and it sees her at the premiere of Crazy Rich Asians. So I don't know if in that scene she plays herself because she's in that movie. Um, but I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. And then obviously when she's like swinging the sign around, um, in different, it kind of cuts back and forth between that, and then like everyone's coming in like, come on, let's go, and then everyone's coming in like, come on, use your powers, and then it does this amazing transition, right? Where it's like, okay, are we doing this? We're gonna do this, okay? And people are like, come on, let's go, and she's grabbing things, okay, let's do this. And then there's another version of her from the other universe going randomly going like that, doing the scale, and people are looking at her, but it's cutting back and forth, and she's fucking doing the same scale, fucking people up, fighting them like oh shit, ducking and going, and the way the bars come down on the screen, and then it's like full screen the other side, and she's just there fucking people up, fucking them and fucking smacking them like, oh, and it's just done in one shot and one take, and they're fucking people up, come on, let's go, and and it's just brilliant. Action scenes are done so well, brilliant filmmaking. It's like, come on, let's go, and all that. So, and then Key's helping out as well, um, but also bringing in the family drama side of it is great, and there's the comedy. As I said, it works so well. That's one thing about Swiss Army Man as well. It works so well. Comedy in this film is just brilliantly done, and I'm just praising it. But that's what else can I do? The movie is fucking incredible. It's such a great experience, and I wanted to see this in cinema. I couldn't find any theatre here that was screened. There was, but they're all the obscure ones. I think it was only a limited release over here, which is fucking insane. Because I would go and see this in cinema. Even though I own it, it's such a movie that you have to see in theaters. And imagine the experience you get in the theater compared to at home, because the movie's amazing at home. I'm like, holy shit. And it's just like, it's incredible. But the film, as I said, it's just incredible. It's incredible. Like, there's honestly nothing wrong with it. Like, there's no flaws. There's not a weak performance. There's not a weak scene. It never slows down. Like, I know that the ending kind of drags a bit, but like, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It doesn't, it actually works for the film. There's no problems with it. I think it's a perfect movie. It's very rare to say that about films nowadays. Like, yes, I've given movies 10 out of 10, but there's issues. But although I was saying that last year wasn't great for films, I think I'm kind of, thinking, I'm kind of rethinking that fact. Because last year, I think, was great for movies, now that I think about it, because there was a lot that I missed out on, and this was one of them. Because last year, the movies that were brilliant were almost just flawless. Like, The Batman is a flawless film. Banshees of Inisherin is a flawless film. Top Gun Maverick is a flawless fucking film. And this is a flawless film as well. And even movies like Glass Onion and Death on the Nile, two murder mysteries. I don't know if Death on the Nile was 2021 or it was 2022, yeah, around this time last year. They were fucking brilliant as well. So it's just, so this just goes into that category of just perfect movies. Perfect fucking movies. But anyway, that's a little tangent over with that, and it's just, you get, these fucking moments that I love. And as I said, back to the divorce whole scene, the whole scene where she's like, "Oh, we need to talk about something." I was like, "What is it? What is it?" It was like, "We need to talk about getting a divorce." Like, a divorce? Like, yeah, yeah. Just things haven't been the same in a while. It's like, what? And some of it's done in subtitles, some of it's English. And I like the kind of back and forth between. It's like, um, it's just things have been bad. Things haven't been great and all that. And it's like, I want that. It's like, well, but we can't. I'm sorry, but we have to do this. And then, she's like, what? And then it kind of goes back for like, let's go. They talk about it. They go down to get the papers there. They are like, sign it. It's like, what? And then they're walking down, and it's like, oh shit, you know. And it's a sad scene. Um, but it also shows that how Michelle Yeoh's character is like that. And then Michelle Yeoh sees him in another universe, like, oh shit, and like, and she goes, I saw you in another universe, and what my life was like without you, and it was incredible. It's like, oh shit, that's not the right word to use. Like, yeah, oh, thank you. But then you have this great moment. It's like, why can we talk about this divorce? Like, that's not me. That's from another universe. And then they're like, come on, let's go. And they're fighting people. Like, oh shit, and all that. It's like, what are we doing? We gotta go this way. Come on. Then they go down into the car, and she's all like, you know, she's like, he's like, they're in the truck talking like, I'm sorry, but it's really hard, and it's cutting back and forth. Like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't want a divorce. So why is it? That's another me. That's not you. And then it's like, it's just really tough. I'm sorry. And then the acting from Key is brilliant. He's crying. I mean, I love him in The Goonies and I love him in Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. But this was like the first time you see him in like a traumatic crying role. It's like, I'm sorry, it's okay. And Rundown's like, can we talk about divorce? That's another version of me. It pops up. How did I get here? It's like, we talked about divorce and I want to get divorced. Like, yeah, it's fine. And it goes back into consciousness. Come on, let's go. And they're fighting like, oh shit, fucking people up and like, oh god. And Jamie Lee Curtis after him like, like, oh shit, so we gotta go this way. And it's like, come on. And then that's when the James Hong comes in like, come on, you guys have to come this way. Although that part's in Chinese. Oh, that I have to say, it's Chinese that it is. Sorry, like, you're Chinese, because James Hong says to the girl, oh, your Chinese isn't great and all that. She needs to work on her Chinese. And it's just brilliantly said, brilliantly done. This movie is so fucking good. It's amazing. And like the great shots of her jumping, and then even the little things like at the start of the film, like, come on, with her going back out in and out of the laundromat, and I like the kind of transition of that's connected to the house, like walking down the stairs, like, oh god, it's like, come on, can we go around? Can we get some more Google eyes around here? Like, because she can't pronounce Google eyes, like, and she goes, oh, we're doing this that way, and then he's like, what? It's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, and she's like, Mom, it's not pronounced like that. They're saying that in the kitchen and all that. And then you just have like, let's get Google eyes and putting things around on the eyes, and then even like later on in the scene, she's putting googly eyes on everything, and that's to foreshadow what happens, because later on she puts them on her head. Famous for that movie, for what's in this film. As you walk around, it's like, come on, Mom, whatever, and it's just brilliantly done. And I also like to sit at the desk, like, yeah, that's fine, cool, doing the business, and there's, yeah, whatever. And then, as I said, the camera pans to the security cam footage. But throughout the film, I love this idea, because it's so different, is that in the movie, we actually don't see the title Everything Everywhere All at Once pop up. The title pops up as the movie goes on. She sits there, pops up everything. We get the first act, which goes on for ages, of, oh shit, come on, fucking people up left and right. Then we get to the second act where it says everywhere. And then the last act, the kind of epilogue, sort of prologue of the movie, alright, sorry, is all at once. And I thought that was just brilliantly done. But I also like, oh shit, great. And then there's a great moment as well where they're in another other universe and they're both rocks, and then it's done so fucking brilliant. Like, the scene is just priceless because there's no dialogue. It's just it's just subtitles at the top. Like, what the hell's wrong, Jojo? What's wrong? It's like, I don't know. Something's hard. Not Jojo, but something like that. I was like, what's going on? I don't know. We're in another universe where we're rocks. Look, I'm sorry about earlier. Look, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just sit here and be a rock. Oh yeah, it's great. And she's like, oh yeah, this happened. Blah blah blah. That was a joke. Oh, Ha 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 ha. Things are bad. Yeah. Fuck. And it just goes on for a while and a while and a while. And then there's even another scene where she's just a rocking and jumps down, and it kind of cuts back and forth, and the scene goes on. But it's very funny. And then the rock kind of moves like, "Let's go," and then jumps down and goes, you know. And then there's other moments where the head kind of goes like that, and it cuts to another universe, like, "Yeah, let's go," and they're both birthday pinatas, and you know, and other universes where they're like food. I think, oh god, you know, and it's so hard to describe because the start of the movie, the first kind of act is more the whole. Like, it's just like a good hour or a good maybe hour and a half into the film where it's more just the subconscious, like her conscious mind is in other universes. But then the second half, like that happens, but she kind of also goes into other universes, and it's just so well done. I just can't stop praising this fucking movie. This is going to be a long review, as I said. This might be the longest review on my channel. That review, I'm telling you now, when I get to the Infinity War and Endgame, you will expect a review that's probably longer than the fucking movies. Um, that'll be a really special episode, I think, of this movie review show. But I can't stop praising this fucking movie. It's just awesome. Um, you know, they're like, oh god, whatever, and the next thing I'm gonna talk about is the daughter. I already talked about the mother-daughter relationship, and it's beautifully done with the good side and the evil version of her, and it's the comedy and the drama is done brilliantly in those scenes. But and the martial arts, but like the daughter, the evil version of the daughter, which I'm not going to pronounce the evil name, it's so beautifully done. And I know that I think there is Chinese lore put in the film, but I can't describe how amazing it is. Like that, it's that scene there. Like she just kills it, and she has different versions of her. Like her hair is constantly changing as well. Um, you know, I love that. I love that about this film. So yeah, man, I tell you, like this review, I'd say the next part will be the last part because I think I've nearly talked about everything I want to talk about. But I love this fucking movie so fucking much. I'm actually just gonna wait till the memory runs out on this like video. So actually, no. So I will see you guys later in the next part. Next part probably will be the last part. I don't know. It depends. I will see you guys later. Bye.